Hello, wonderful students, and welcome to today's lesson, which is Romeo and Juliet's prologue to the play. The prologue is Shakespeare's word for an introduction. So in the prologue, he sets the scene for readers and announces that to them what they're about to watch. You might look at the prologue as a way of preparing the audience for the events. Now, Shakespeare gave us all the details of the play. In the prologue, as we read it, you guys will notice he tells us the events of the play. And remember that his words were meant to be performed, not necessarily read. So when you guys take the version that I've given you, on the left side you'll see written in iambic pentameter how Shakespeare wrote it. And remember, iambic pentameter, when you guys had the lesson on sonnets, was 5 stressed syllables per line and 5 unstressed. Ba 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 ba. So if you want to read the play, sing-song, you certainly can follow the left side and follow iambic pentameter in Old English. If you want to read the right side, it's a modern translation. It goes much quicker for you guys at your level, and you can read the play from start to finish very quickly. You only need to read the right side then to tell the entire story. Okay? One issue that almost every reader has when dealing with Shakespeare for the first time is how to understand his language, which is why I provided you that specific format of the play where you have the left side and the right side. I want you guys to enjoy it. Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet more than 400 years ago. He just actually celebrated his 450th birthday last year. And the English language has gone through so many changes since then. And Shakespeare would have said, "Be thou gone." Today, it would mean go away. So if you want your little brother or sister to be thou gone, you could tell them tonight, "Be thou gone," which means go away. It's a nice way of saying that. Shakespeare's English can be tricky and confusing, but you're going to break down the play again. That right side is going to help you guys understand what's going on in the iambic pentameter or the Old English, okay? So what we're going to do during this mini lesson is, what do you know? I want you guys to read along with me. It would be good for you to take notes, some of your study skills that we're working on. Write down what you know. And you guys, if you want to, highlight important information. Okay? Things that you think you're going to need for quizzes or important information that happens in the scene with the characters. Here is the prologue. It's a very short prologue. Again, notice on the left side we have the original text that Shakespeare wrote, and on the right side it's the modern text. All you need to do, given this class, is focus on the modern text side. If you want to, for reference, you can read the original, but I'm going to be sticking with the modern text just so you guys get a feel for Shakespeare in 7th grade, and then as you get a little bit older and explore Shakespeare in English, you're going to go for the more intense versions, which is the original text. So let me read this to you. In the beautiful city of Verona, where our story takes place, a long-standing hatred between two families erupts into new violence, and citizens stain their hands with blood of their fellow citizens. 2 unlucky children of these esteemed families become lovers and commit suicide. Their unfortunate deaths put an end to their parents' feud, and for the next 2 hours we will watch the story of their doomed love and their parents' anger, which nothing but the children's deaths can stop. If you listen to us patiently, we'll make up for everything we've left out of this prologue on stage. So that's Shakespeare. He just gave you a summary of the entire play. You have 2 lovers whose parents didn't want them together. Family feud, 2 lovers die in the end. You guys already know the ending, right? He tells you the prologue. So it's kind of like a teaser, like this is what the play's about. Have a seat, watch it. We'll perform it for you in the next 2 hours of our play. So that is the prologue, okay? Again, you have the original Shakespeare and you have modern. From forth the fatal loins of these 2 foes, a pair of star-crossed lovers take their life. Again, iambic pentameter. And what we know is out of the fatal families of these 2 foes, a pair of cursed lovers take their life. So something to think about as you read about the characters is Shakespeare was very humorous. He did not intend for everything he wrote to be tragic and very serious. He actually wrote comedies as well, which are extremely funny plays. This is a tragedy. So we have deaths. We have actually quite a few deaths you guys will see throughout this play, but he also wrote comedies. His plays are filled with humor and jokes to keep the audience interested. A lot of times the characters will make fun of one another, and you can usually tell who the funny characters in Shakespeare's plays are because they're the natural favorites of his audience. They tend to form a bond with the characters who are really funny. So in Romeo and Juliet, for instance, the characters are Mercutio, if you guys can say that, Mercutio, and Juliet's nurse are both quick-witted and always ready with a joke. The nurse is a particular favorite because, like the other characters in her plays who are not of noble birth, she speaks in a less formal manner, and her speeches are not the strict verse in which higher-ranking members of society speak in Shakespeare's plays. So you'll even see the difference in classes with the different characters. Okay? Having said that, I want you guys to take a moment, think about the prologue, read it on your own, and make sure you understand what those lines of the prologue, merely the introduction, are about. All right? Have fun. Bye-bye.